Welcome back to Trainerheadz. You're locked in with your host Jay today, and today we have a very special guest for you guys. To begin our series, a conversation with a trainerhead. Here you have Mr. Emil Socialize.
How you doing there, bro? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming today. So we sat down here, we're gonna have a little chat with Mr. Emil. Mr. Emil was actually the first person to release a full-length documentary on trainer culture in the UK. This documentary is actually called The Soleseekers. So, Mr. Emil, tell us a little bit more about Soleseekers.
Well, as you said, Soleseekers is the world's first documentary on UK trainer culture, feature length. I made it because, like, in the UK, we have so much culture surrounding trainers, and it permeates age, race, class, everything. But no one had actually captured all of this, so I wanted to put it together, and I wanted to show the rest of the world what we do and how we do it. Okay. And that's why I made the film, and also because I simply love trainers as well.
With you saying that, you know, growing up in London, you know, people were wearing Reebok Classics. Yeah. You know, I know people went through a phase of workouts. Yeah. You know, from that era, what would you say was your favourite shoe from that era of growing up? What was your number one crep that was your go-to crep, you know?
I think for me, the crepes were the one that typifies Britain. I think was the ZX8000, Adidas ZX8000, the Aqua, because that was a essentially British shoe. Torsions didn't work in America. They tried to put them into basketball boots, and they were like, yeah. But over, like, the torsion was banging. If you was on-rolled in them, like that was the thing. That was,
you were the man. You
were the man. But for me, one of the defining shoes growing up, that was the ZX8000. It fitted the whole kind of time, because there was this kind of French fashion overload. We'd wear Chippy, Chevignon, Naf Naf, C17, all these kind of labels, which are like French school clothes to them, but to us they're the thing.
It's like, fashion for us.
It's high street fashion. It's probably the beginning of like street fashion, and then up north they'd wear like the different kind of labels of Cerrutis and stuff like that. And that they would get from football, for instance. They'd go to football and see those kind of styles. But we was kind of different. We had the kind of rude boy style. You see what I mean? And it was then around maybe the early 90s when these two styles started to merge. And then we kind of plateaued, and then we got to where we are now.
Okay. So as you just touched upon, you saying that you love trainers. So tell us a little bit about the first pair of trainers that you ever bought. Your first pair.
I think the first pair of trainers I ever bought with my own money, damn, they might have been a pair of, they weren't even Nike, I think they were Adidas. I think they were, which ones were they? I think they might have been, before the ZXs, they might have been a pair of Forest Hills or something like that.
Yeah, Forest Hills were big back in the day back in London.
Yeah, so it was something like that, because Nike weren't really big then. It was, because remember, in those days, we were just coming out of, when we was at school, we used to rock things like, high-tech silver shadows and all them kind of things there. The
sort of shoes that people in my age used to get bullied for.
Yeah, exactly. Because we were like, nah, I left them. So you move on, you move up and up and up. But yeah, it's stuff like that. And it was just a completely different thing. So if someone had a red pair, you want a green pair. If someone had a green pair, you want a purple pair. Or it might even be a case of, if you live in this manner, you wore this kind of shoe, and you lived in that manner, you wore that kind of shoe. Like it was all just kind of different influences.
Okay. So you said that you're not really a big fan of the Yeezy.
No, I'm not a big fan of the Yeezy at all.
So is there not one Yeezy on this wall, you know, that you'd think they're all right? Like, I wouldn't mind spending my hard-earned money on this purchase.
No. Don't get me wrong, I'm not biased against. Well, no, I just don't like that. I don't like the silhouette. Don't suit me. I don't like them. Never have liked them. Okay. Never. Not interested.
Not even the V1.
Not even a V1. Not even a V1. Not the 350. Not nothing. Like no, just not the 7. No.
Or like these, for example.
Yeah, nah.
These are dead. Rubbish.
It's a fashion
and they're buying these.
Yeah.
For 250 Great British Sterling pounds.
What?
250 of them. Like, who does that? Who does that? For the shoe?
Yeah.
You're mad.
No.
You're mad. No. 700. You're never ever gonna see my money.
These are the biggest thing on road right now.
You're kidding me or what? You've got to be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
Jeez, you gotta be kidding me.
Exactly. What about the 500s?
Oh my gosh, they're even worse. Like,
what do you reckon's worse? These or these?
No, these are worse.
These are worse?
Yeah, these are worse. These are definitely worse.
I think these are some of the most horrible shoes I think I've
No,
ever
these
seen.
are worse. And what's happened was, remember, these were sitting on the shelves as well. Like, they're just not nice.
They're not nice.
Neither of these shoes are nice. They're just not nice. Atmos.
Classic
like,
Atmos.
See, sexy shoes all day long. But that's just kind of just goes without saying. Like, and these as well. Some new plates, some different materials, the patches. Yeah. And then what I'm wearing right now. What I'm wearing now. You can't go wrong with Air Force, can you? You just can't go wrong. And so I'm lucky enough to win a pair in Offspring. Thanks, Offspring. And yeah, you can't go wrong with Air Force.
Of course. So obviously, with you being an OG sneakerhead, you know you're an OG. You're an OG. So what can you say that you've seen in the market now in terms of sneakers? How has it changed to when you were growing up and when you were buying shoes when you were a young teenager and went into your 20s?
It's completely unrecognizable. It's not the same. It's completely different. Sometimes we would covet shoes. We would not even dream of shoes. We'd hear about these shoes and they'd be mythical and you might see them in a magazine or a book. But now every single shoe that ever's come out is available to buy if you've got the money. If you've got the money, if you've got the PayPal account and it's big enough, you can buy any single shoe that they've released that comes out. You want to buy the Eminem AJ4s like 20-30 grand. Yeah, you can buy. If you want to spend 20-30 grand, you can buy them.
You can, yeah.
You can just buy them. So the whole market is just completely indistinguishable from how it was then. People bought shoes because they liked them, not because of the resale value. Or they liked the shoes that they saw X wear in a manner or Y at a rave. They didn't wear them, because remember, we didn't look in magazines. There weren't nothing to say, this is popping, this is hot. You'd look and you'd say, where'd you get them from, bro? And they'd be like, that's how you'd know, that's what you'd know. And it was like your area you're from, the people you spoke to, where you travel. You might go to America and pick up certain things, because for instance, in America, they love basketball shoes, but in England, we love running shoes. Yeah. So we go to America, they'd sell their running shoes cheap. No one wore Huaraches. No one wore it. They weren't. I went to New York one time, bought some Huaraches for $20. Columbia blue Huaraches for $20 because no one
was wearing it in the States.
So I bought a pair of them, brought them home. Where'd you get them from? America. So like you could just do that, and that's how it was. But now it's just completely. The whole thing is global. I was just saying to someone, I was in Hong Kong recently, and I went to Sneaker Street, and all the stores sold the same shoes, the same models, and it was only the resale stores that had different models in, which are the same models that you can get in any resale store. Yeah, because we went for a phase of around the time when. Remember when Nike Shox first came out? We kind of rebelled against it. I was like, these shoes are terrible and they're too much money.
I quite like the Shox, to be honest. I quite liked it.
It's kind of funny because at that time, the shoes got more kind of future age. Between like 99 and 2000, they started putting space shuttle materials on them, foam posit, Shox, the Alpha Project, all these space age kind of advanced shoes. Probably literally they've only caught up recently because they stopped doing that kind of stuff. They just did it basically mainly on fashion, but back then they wanted technological advances and stuff like that. And we kind of was like, yeah, but you can't wear them to Coliseum, so like I was gonna wear something else. Like you could get 4 pairs of Reebok Classics for the pair of one price of Shox. Okay. So that means imagine every week you had a fresh pair of every single week for not much money. You look fresh. You had a fresh pair of shoes. So that's when that's kind of when the hoarding started. Because like you said, you look around in a month, you've got 12 pairs of shoes down there.
So, you know, let's talk about new school now. Yeah. So, you know, you got new silhouettes like, you know, the Yeezys, the 350 V2s. You have the Yeezy that released under Nike. We have, you know, Pharrell is now got a deal with Adidas. So how do you kind of compare these new, what do you think of these new silhouettes compared, you know, to the older silhouettes, to like, you know, your standard Air Maxes, your Air Max 1s, your 90s, what's your view on it?
For me, it's what the shoe looks like. But I do believe that that's come second place to marketing. I think the new stuff is all about marketing. Even yesterday, I was reading Hypebeast, and they're trying to push, not Hypebeast, Hypebeast. No, High Snob, sorry. High Snob.
Okay,
And they're pushing Echo trainers and all that, and you're like, what? Like, really? Like, it's like whoever pays them the most, that's what they push.
That's what they push.
And this is like, it's harder, I think, for the new sneaker, because you got so many like. You got so much marketing, so much, who can keep up? And literally, and the way that social media is, they make you feel shit for not keeping up. Do you know what I mean? You actually feel like, I didn't get them. So what? There'll literally be another shoe next week. Adidas, Nike, all these, they're not going to stop making shoes. Like, not going to stop. and there'll be something else that you can get. But you don't feel that way. You feel, I've got to get it, I've got to be in, I've got to put it on the gram, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And I think that's unfair on younger people as well. Because remember, these things cost money. Where's this money coming from?
A lot of money.
So there's a kind of socio-economic aspect of it. There's the whole kind of, there's a whole message to it. And you're just like, I could see for the younger sneaker fan, it's hard. It's hard to keep up.
So with you being a sneakerhead yourself, how many shoes on estimate do you have in your collection?
Probably most collectors, anyone else you have here, will not say how many they've got. Some don't know, some don't want you to know. Like, some don't want you to follow them home, some don't know where they are. Like, it's, I cannot actually put a figure on it. It's a lot, but it's not as much as X, but it's more than Y.
Last question, if you had to rate your #1 shoe of all time, you can't, there's no second place, there's no first place. You know, someone said to you, you've got this one shoe and you got to rock this shoe for the rest of your life. Every day, same colorway, can't change colorway, you got to rock this shoe every day. What shoe are you going for?
Do you know what, that might be too hard of a question. That might be way too hard of a question, because I can pick 5.
Alright, give us your top 3 shoes. Okay, so your top 3 shoes that are going to be in rotation for the remainder of your life.
If I had to do it would be AJ3 Cements, it'd be white and white Air Force Ones, and probably ZX 8000.
See, that's it. You know what? The Air Force One had to be in there. The Air Force One had to be in there. You know, the Air Force One is just, you know, when I think about shoes, and if someone was to ask me that question, I'd have to say the white on white Air Forces. Yeah. Because, you know, there's nothing looks cleaner than a brand new pair of white Air Forces. Definitely. The Colgate whites. Yeah. You know, if you're watching this, go pick up a pair right now. You can never have too many white Air Forces. Never have too many. So listen, put it in the description below. If anyone knows where they can get discounted Air Forces, because I like to buy mine on discount, I don't buy mine at full price. So if you know anywhere that's selling them on sale, put them downstairs in the comments below. Let me try and get a pair on discount, please. I'm asking you, please. So for today's episode, we are done and dusted. We've had Mr. Emil Socialize here with us. Thank you very much for coming out here, my bro, and giving us your time.
Thank you. And before I leave, you can check out Soleseekers. It'll be out on iTunes at the end of March, or go to www.soleseekersfilm.com. It'll be down below in the description as well. Thank you.
Like Mr. Emil said, everything is going to be down below in the description. Make sure you follow, subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment. We want you guys to really show us what you feel about this new series that we're making. So we're going to have more influencers like Mr. Emil Socialize with us.
I'm not an influencer.
You know, he's big in the UK trainer game, you know. He's big in the game. So, you know, tell us what you think about this episode. Tell us if you want to see more. We look forward to seeing you guys again soon. My name's Jay. You're locked in with Trainerheads, and we'll see you on our next episode. Peace.